Hi everyone, welcome to Becky's Crafts and Goodies. I hope you're all okay. Now today we are going to upcycle none other than this rolling pin. Now this came from a charity shop. It was £1 and I also picked up one from a local shop called Boys, and I don't know how much this one was, but they on both of them the middles roll round. I think this one, the newer one, was more expensive, but as I say, if you can't find them in charity shops then you can get them in normal shops as well. So you can use this idea for Christmas as well. This would look really nice maybe with little gingerbreads on, or, you know, Christmas themed stuff. And a lot of the time people just use them in their kitchen as decorative ornaments. You can sell them at craft fairs and things like that. So there's various different things that you can do with them. They'd make a nice gift as well. So what we're going to do to start with is paint them both. As you can see, they're slightly different sizes, but there or thereabouts. So let's do this one first. This is the one that I bought new, and I've got a little bit of chalk paint left there. Let's just take this off. The one I bought from the charity shop, I don't know if I told you, that was just £1, which is a really good price. Some charity shops I've noticed are getting really expensive, and some places it's cheaper to actually buy it new, which is strange. Right, so we're just going to paint it all. I'm going to paint the handles a different colour, but I've got some of this chalk paint left, so we'll just give it a good couple of coats over, and then we'll decorate them. As I said, you can do all sorts of different themes depending, you know, what your colour scheme is or what time of the year. But if I did have some Christmassy paper that I could use, like napkins or rice paper, then I would, but I don't really have anything that's that Christmassy, so we'll do it every year, every time of year theme, just to give you the idea. Right, so I've painted the other one. I have left the handles because I'm going to paint them a different colour, but if you wanted to do like a base coat, you could. But as I say, this is the second one, so I'm just going to paint these at the same time just so they can all be dry and we can start decorating. And I've also painted this little side bit as well, but just left the handle. So I'll get this done and then we'll start and put some napkins on. Right, let's do the next part. We've got 2 rolling pins that have been painted and completely dry. As I said, I've left the end parts here, the handles, because we'll put whatever colour on those depending on what napkin we use. So I just want to show you a few that I've got. Now this patisserie one I thought would be nice. I'm not going to use this, but I just want to show you. This could go on, let's say for instance, put it on as a whole piece, leave it so you've got a little gap either side, because we can always, if we were going to use it, decorate that and just sort of blend it in. But I thought that would look nice, just literally all the way round, because obviously because it's a rolling pin it would kind of fit in nicely. So that would be an option we could do. I also found this one here, and I thought this sort of like with tea and cakes, that would also look quite nice. These are very me, so if it's going to go in my kitchen, this is probably what I'll use. And then this is another set that I bought recently from a garden centre, £3.95. I thought that would look quite nice, and I've got the colours, the paints to match both of those, so I'll probably use those. I just picked these up from B&Q, so to save buying a big pot of chalk paint or something, just went in and bought a couple of testers so we can use those on at the end. So what we're going to use is both of these, do a similar kind of thing to both, but obviously because they're different designs they'll look slightly different. Right, so these are really pretty, these napkins. They feel really soft as well. So we'll open them out, and there are lots and lots of flowers on here. So we've got a couple of choices. We can pick some pieces out and stick those on, or we can put the napkin on as one piece and roll it round, which I think would also look really quite pretty. So we'll probably do that, and then with the other napkin we'll pick some pieces out. and do it that way. So what we're going to do to start with is kind of cut it down to size, and it won't matter if it's not perfect, because what we can do is we can just sort the ends out at the end. So I'm just going to cut almost to the right size, but not quite. And if I can cut straight with these scissors, it'll be an absolute miracle. These are my Cricut scissors. Okay. Obviously it's 3-ply as well, so we need to separate them and just use the top part. So because the base colour is the same or similar to this napkin, this will work absolutely fine. We just pull that apart like that, and then we will glue the actual rolling pin and put this on as a 1. You know, because obviously the pattern's quite full on this, I think it would work quite nice. There we go. And it's repetitive as well, so that's good. So we're just going to quickly, kind of roughly get it up there. Right. So you can use Mod Podge if you want to. I've got some of the matte finish still that I like to use. You can just also use watered down PVA. Normal PVA is just a bit too thick, so if you just water it down a bit, it's good. So we'll do to the end like that. Get our napkin. Hopefully we've got a little bit spare each side. Pop that on there. Obviously we're using a napkin, so we've got to be careful how much we press down. Maybe some cling film would have been handy to have down here, but we'll just go without. We're just putting a bit more on and then working that down and round as we go. Just really lightly pushing it on. Let me see if I can find something. Do you know, I'm going to get some cling film because it really does help to smooth it out. So we don't need a lot, but if you can see, look, I can really touch it and smooth out those lumpy bits. And you can just reuse this over and over again, this piece. I know lots of people don't like using the plastic wrap, but sometimes I use the reusable plastic folders, and you can just sort of wipe those and use those a few times, so that's quite good, but I haven't got those to hand. So we'll just do a bit more of this. Do it in like little sections so you don't get in a bit of a twist. It's a really pretty design. It kind of would have been a shame to cut pieces up, so. And if you do get wrinkles in, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I think it'll look nice anyway. And that's the good thing with doing crafts like this. It doesn't matter if it's not perfect. Just have a little go. So obviously we're going to have to cut this with my really small scissors, which isn't going to be great. We'll go around a little bit more. Got a big fold there. nearly at the join now. There we go. It's looking pretty, isn't it? So what we'll do is, I really need some bigger scissors. Okay, now we're going to cut this extra part off. I'm kind of leaving maybe a little bit too much, just so I can have a little look. And I think that should be okay. So just pop, it doesn't matter if you've got a little bit that kind of laps over. Just make sure you've got some glue down there. This cling film. And then just smooth it kind of to the edge. Like this. It's kind of matched up actually, can you see? Matched up to the bit before quite well. There you go. And I'll just go over this with the cling film just to make sure we've got no lumpy bits, or if there are lumpy bits that they look okay. Oh, I'll just rip that a bit there. Should be able to patch that up actually, can you see? Let's see. I'll probably stick another bit on there if it's noticeable. But there we go. So we'll leave that to dry and then we'll sort these edges out once it's dried. And we'll move on and do the next one now. Let me show you the napkin that I'm using folded out. Let's have a quick look. It's really pretty. But I've decided not to use the little flower tub there on it. I'm not going to use that one. So what I've done is I've just cut out some of these little flower groups, and also just gone around the edge with the paintbrush just to make the edges all jagged like that. So I've done that with lots of pieces that we can use, but I've left the ply on the back, so it's just easier to kind of maneuver. So I've got all the different pieces there already waiting to go. One thing I wanted to show you, this part here was actually the edge of the napkin, and I've left the edge on it because I thought that would look really nice literally on the edge of the rolling pin. So I'm going to try and incorporate that. And then there's some tiny little bits as well that I managed to do, and I thought if I needed to I could just pop those on. So I've kind of sorted them out into sizes, but I think I'll start with quite a big piece in the middle. And again, you've seen me do this 1,000 times, but if you're new to this, I've got lots of decoupage videos, so you can I've got a big playlist, and as I said before, I've said before many times, it's one of the first crafts that I did, and I really enjoy doing it. So, and I still enjoy it just as much now, so it's a really good one to get into. So I'll just put that on there, and then we're just going to put some of the little bits and pieces, and then put some more around the edge, sort of dotted about, and just sort of make it look nice and pretty. I mean, obviously you can't use these rolling pins, but they'll just look so pretty in the kitchen. But you could also, if you've got some stencils, you could stencil on the top as well. You don't have to sort of decoupage them. You can stencil them too. But if you see things like this in charity shops, they're always good to pick up. So I'm going to put another one around there. I've just got to be careful when I'm rolling it around, because obviously if that goes onto the desk, it may well rip. So I've just got to be careful with that. Just dab that down. And the colours will all blend in lovely, I think. Put a bit more more glue on that one. Just be really gentle if you're going over the top, because I've ripped these in many times. There we go. Let's put some more glue on that bit. But the other one's just next to me, it's just drying at the moment. And be able to paint the sides on them when they're dry. See that bit there that's just hanging over? We're not worried about that. You can either fold it round. Actually, that would look quite nice folded round. I'm going to do that. Or we could get it off with nail file later. So just very carefully kind of try and prop it up. Put a few more bits on. Let's put a smaller piece in there. But I might have to stop in a second just to give it a chance to dry. It's really turning cold these days though. I'm down in the craft room and I might pop the heater on for a second just to see if I can dry this a little bit. Okay, so you can see the effect that we're going for, and then these little tiny ones, I can kind of dot those about as well. So I'm going to finish off doing this, obviously let it dry, sort of go all the way around, and then I'll be back with you. Right, back to this one. This is dry, and we're just going to take the little rough bits off the edges here. Get yourself a nail file, and we're just going to swoop it away. Don't scrub it like that, just swoop it away, and then what that does is it gives you a really nice, can you see, edge on there, and it just makes your life so much easier. So I'll do both of these sides, and then we'll paint the handles. Do you know, I'm in two minds whether to leave this. I think it looks really nice with wooden handles, and I'm possibly going to regret painting it, but I just want to see what it looks like. So even though I'm thinking probably I shouldn't paint it, I'm going to. So we've got a, oh yeah, that's okay. I just wanted to do something a bit different. So just paint this on, and as I say, this is just a tester pot from B&Q. There we go. So I'm just going to let that dry, and I'll probably give it another coat just to make sure. Okie doke. Right, we're over to the next one now, and we'll do the same thing with just little bits of napkin that's hanging over the edge. Just to, I'm going to take that bit off actually. Just make sure it's all neat, and then we're going to paint the handles on this one. And this paint is Limerick. It's a really nice sagey green. I've still got some of the blue paint on my fingers. I'm hoping I don't get that everywhere. Let's get ourselves a little paintbrush, and we'll just paint the handles on this as well. We've got both of them finished now and dried, and what I did was pop some of this wax finish varnish over the top. It's the Polyvine. It's quite good stuff. You could wax them just if you wanted to as well. That would be absolutely fine. But I just think they look so pretty. I really love them. You know, and they'd look so cute as a Christmassy design as well. So you can just see if I just roll it round what we've got there. And then this is the one that had the whole piece of napkin on. And I thought it would look quite cute with a piece of ribbon just on the side. So I found this bit of ribbon in my like scraps. So I'm going to tie that piece of ribbon to each end of this one just to give it a little bit of something different. And I think that would look pretty cute. But it just goes to show you can just paint and transform anything really. You just set your mind to it, use some different colours and different styles, and you can sort of make lots of different types of and styles of decor. So I'm just going to pop this ribbon on the end, and then they're completely done. So we're all done now. I've popped the bows on the side, just put one on each end, just on that one, and I just think it looks quite cute. So that's it. Hopefully I've inspired you to have a little go. Let me know in the comments down below which is your favourite, and if you're going to have a go at doing some yourself. If you've enjoyed this, then do check out my playlists for decoupage, and also consider subscribing if you haven't. You just have to click the subscribe button, and it's completely free of charge. And if you pop the bell, you'll get notified when I upload a video as well. So that's it from me. I hope you're all okay and keeping safe and well, and I will see you soon. You take care. Bye for now.